So tell us about, you went to nursing school at in Lancaster, and the difference between what you studied and what Rebecca studied at John Hopkins, and which years were you there?
Well, Rebecca is at Johns Hopkins from 1898 to 1901. There are a lot of parallels to when I went to nursing school in the 60s. However, Rebecca and her classmates were almost recruited if they had high moral character. They had to graduate from high school. Actually, they preferred farm women because farm women were hard workers and they knew about stink, so to speak. But the differences are that in Rebecca's time, she treated and took care of patients without antibiotics, without diagnostic equipment, although x-ray was just starting at that time. And also, she took care of many immigrants, colored people, the poor, people off the street. And her work was not only hard, but it was intellectually challenging as well. The sciences, and believe it or not, she had to learn how to cook. She thought that was ridiculous, but I'm sure there were some students that didn't know how to cook. And if she was going to be a private duty nurse, she might have to cook and feed her patient.
Wow. So when you were in nursing school in Lancaster in the early 60s, what were what subjects were similar and what subjects were different?
Well, pharmacology was the same, but think how different it must have been with the limited number of drugs and medications. And interestingly, some of them were made from plants. And I think that's true today, but in Rebecca's time, many of them were made from plants, including aspirin. Uh, that was the same. I think Rebecca's naivety and my naivety are very much the same. Just being exposed to such difficult situations and body excretion and just being so responsible, even after just a little bit of training, was, I think, very difficult for me. And I think it was difficult for Rebecca. And I have a lot of my own nursing experiences with roommates, with patients that she encountered. I have a lot of that in my story.
Well, Mom, we've talked for almost a half hour. This has just been so much fun.
Me too.
Is there anything else that you would like to share about your book or your journey in writing this and in this stage of your life?
It's been hard work, very hard work. And it's hard to market the books because I am self-published, but I feel as though this story is compelling enough to merit attention by people who really enjoy historical fiction, but also like it when the characters come alive and when they can identify with one of the characters, their strengths and their weaknesses and their flaws and their warts and whatever, and feel themselves in that setting.
And where can people find more information about your books, where to buy them, or how can they reach out to you if they would like to have you come speak at their book club or another function? Because I know, and I've personally witnessed how fabulous you are in front of a crowd and how much you love meeting people and the intellectual questions that people ask about your characters.
Well, I can be reached by email, Joyce L. Kieffer at gmail.com or Joyce Kieffer author at gmail.com. Visit my website, Joyce Kieffer author. And if you would like me to speak to your women's club, your book club, your civic organization, get in contact with me and we'll see if we can make that happen.
And just a footnote, Kieffer is spelled Kieffer. Okay, well, with that, this concludes our lovely cabin conversation in Juniata County, Pennsylvania. Thanks, Mom, for your time. I love you and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, my dear.